My name's Nicole. I'm a registered dietitian and I love to help people with fat loss, weight loss, aesthetic, health, cardiovascular disease, diabetes, PCOS, all kinds of different conditions because they generally require the same treatment. Today I wanted to talk a little bit about low carbohydrate, high protein diets. Is it better to be low carb? Is it better to be high carb? Will carbohydrates give me diabetes? The Mediterranean diet is really high in carbs. Is that okay or not? We're going to bust out all of the science, talk about all the different things that can impact your fat loss journey and what is the best route for you. When it comes to following a low carbohydrate diet, they are generally pretty effective. I'll start there. We'll start with the positives. If you were to follow a low carbohydrate diet, boost up your protein intake, you would lose weight pretty quickly. You would lose fat pretty quickly because carbohydrates help you to store water. They help you to, I guess they convert to fat. Not doing this well. I'm trying to give you the bads of carbohydrates, but the truth is I am a carbohydrate junkie. I love carbs. I love fruit. I'm much more of a fruit person than a vegetable person. I will not lie. So it's hard for me to say the negatives of carbohydrates, but you will lose weight fairly quickly on a low carbohydrate diet. Is it sustainable? No. Is it healthy? Let's look at some of the data. I'm going to share a clip of Dr. Michael Greger, and he's going to talk a little bit about low carb. It's just a snippet, just a very quick snippet, but he is a highly science-backed medical doctor who studied nutrition. This is what he does for a living. So I'm going to share this clip.
Studies on the effects of low carbohydrate diets have shown higher rates of all-cause mortality, meaning a shorter lifespan, decreased artery function, worsening of coronary artery disease, and increased rates of constipation, headaches, bad breath, muscle cramps, general weakness, and rash. And yet, still not as effective as the diet that actually has all the good side effects like decreasing risk of diabetes beyond just the weight loss.
A low carbohydrate diet is linked to worsening cardiovascular disease. It is linked to getting diabetes. So it's not just overeating on carbs, but undereating on carbs can also cause diabetes. Now, when you're looking to lose weight, you're not always thinking of long term. You're not thinking of your health. You just want to drop some pounds so you look good and feel good. But if you switch that focus to thinking about health, you can also get the weight loss too. Because I am also a mindset coach. So when it comes to changing your diet, no matter what it's for, it requires some reworking of the neural pathways. It requires thinking a little bit differently, having different perceptions. And people are much, much more successful when they focus on their health as whole rather than just the pounds on the scale or dropping pant sizes or losing some belly fat. It's more motivating to want to be healthy in some sense. But if you're coming at it from a place of fear, like you're afraid of aging, you're afraid of having a heart attack, you're afraid of getting diabetes, it's not going to help you change your eating habits because fear, it puts us into that fight or flight response because your brain is like, okay, we're afraid of something, there's a threat, let's go into fight or flight. Fight or flight makes you want to eat. Because you need comfort, you need immediate comfort, and your body knows that food raises your serotonin levels, especially carbohydrates, and so you have more carbohydrate cravings. Versus if you come into changing your diet from a place of love, from a place of deserving, from a place of wanting something better for yourself, you are more likely to stick to your goals, especially when things get hard. I digress. So when it comes to low carb versus high carb, low carbohydrate scientifically is just not better. Here's a couple of other studies that I wanted to talk about a little bit. So there was a low carb diet study that was done, and I wanted to share a little bit about that as well. So the low carb diet study, I love this study because there's just so much information about following a low carb diet and the different impacts it has on health as a whole. The effect of low carb diets on cardiovascular risk continues to be controversial. While few studies have demonstrated an increase in LDL cholesterol with low carbohydrate diets, others showed negligible changes. Everything when it comes to changing your diet is individual. How your body's going to react to it, completely individual. You don't know until you do it. But there is that risk. There is that risk that following a low carbohydrate diet worsens your cholesterol levels and your triglyceride levels. Several studies link low carb diets to increased mortality. Increased mortality risk comes with a carbohydrate intake of less than 40%. The quality of the food matters, not just the level of micronutrients as well. So thinking about that, a low carbohydrate diet that is loaded with fruits and vegetables and lacking added sugars is going to be a lot healthier for you than a low carbohydrate diet where you eat nothing but vegetables and protein, but you have like 3 candy bars in a day. Right? And then the high carbohydrate diet, it's the same thing. So while we're saying that, generally speaking, a high carbohydrate, higher, or not necessarily high, but moderate, let's say moderate carbohydrate diet is healthier. What I mean by that is your carbohydrates coming from oats, quinoa, beans, vegetables, fruits, like that's where you want your carbohydrates to come from, not from candy, added sugars, brown sugar, things like that. So it is ultimately all about the quality of your diet. Another study was done, it was called the Pound Study, and they looked at different ratios of diets on different people. And what they found is that there really isn't like an ideal diet for the entire population, right? There are genetic and non-genetic factors that make significant differences in how individuals respond to different diets. So it's completely individual, and it's a little bit of trial and error. But with the risk that low carbohydrate diets pose that could lead to heart disease, I would say that in general, a moderate carbohydrate diet filled with high quality carbohydrates is what is best for the general population as a whole. When they looked at rankings of specific diets, the Mediterranean diet was ranked top in 2023 in a world report. When you look at what the Mediterranean diet is, again, here we're looking at diet quality. It's loaded with fruits, vegetables, healthy fats, low in animal protein, low in saturated fat. The Mediterranean diet, and that is what I would say is what makes up the perfect diet. And you follow that, eliminate processed foods, reduce refined sugars, reduce your animal proteins, your animal fats especially, you're going to lose weight. It's just a matter of mindset and how to stick to that long term. Essentially, whatever you do diet-wise, it's a matter of how you stick to it. Yes, there are certain diets that are better for health. Yes, there are certain diets that will get you the weight loss, the fat loss quicker, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's going to stick. It is, like I said, the mindset. This is why I also do mindset coaching with people. That is more of the piece than it is the diet and what you're eating and the exercise. It is so much more about mindset. Hit that subscribe button. Follow me for more. Follow me over on Instagram, Nicole Wake RD. I'm going to keep sharing more and more. I'm going to share the science backed. I'm going to share the facts about how to do fat loss, how to exercise for fat loss. I'm sharing all of it, but I'm also sharing the mindset piece. And again, like I said, that is the bigger part of all of this. Hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it gave you some ideas on what to do, and I look forward to speaking with you next time.